Hey guys, I recently noticed that Mike shared his tier list for patch 24.0 and I thought that I would like to share my tier list, but already for patch 24.1. A lot of you guys keep asking me what to upgrade and what to invest crystals in, and that's why I think that is a good way to share with all of you what's in my opinion is worth upgrading and investing resources in. Keep in mind that this is my subjective opinion, you don't have to agree with that if you don't want to, and also whatever I share in this video might change in upcoming days or weeks. I also would like to continue making tier lists for the upcoming patches in the future. Another important factor is that I'm making this tier list based on the strongest variant in my opinion of the deck for a certain unit. For example, when it comes to Inquisitor, in my opinion the strongest version is still Inquisitor Clock Zeus deck, but I will share that while selecting each unit. Did you guys know that whenever you buy something in Royale market you have tons of benefits? You get much better prices than you have in the game client, you can support your favorite content creator with a promo code, and you can also limit the number of your purchases. Instead of several mini transactions, you can just buy yourself platinum and then buy in-game stuff such as gems, passes or deal offers with it. If you want to support me, please use code Manty whenever you purchase in the market. You can leave me a message that will show on my stream as well. For all the people who uses my code, big thanks. Right, so let's start with the tier list. It's gonna be a tier list for all DPS legendary units, so we don't put any utility, support units or epic or any other units. I'm here with Nerfclock from Blood Zephyr. Hello.
Yo, Nerfclock here.
Alright, and we will do a very subjective tier list, so don't expect it to be 100% true. It's our experience playing this deck or playing against it or watching the VODs of these games. And we will start with from the left to the right, so we start with Bruiser, we finish on Meteor, and we will try to give our opinion on such unit, thinking about what the unit has on its base stats, on its talents, how flexible is this unit, if it can go toxic or if it can go DPS or whatever that unit offers basically. And we will start with Bruiser. Maybe Nerf, you can say a few words.
The Bruiser right now is pretty nuts, in my opinion. Like it's all over the leaderboard, but it requires a pretty high account, to be honest. Like Necromancer, Zeus.
Yeah, I would agree. Even with Mari or Mermaid, it is good because you can go that level 11 left talent, and then you can go Mermaid, or you can go crazy with Mari or Zeus for extra damage, or if you are a whale you can also go for a Necro, because not many people have Necro. But I agree with new Harlequin talents, it is crazy good, especially the right side talent, which is the Green Bruiser. It is crazy. Yeah, and it is crazy because it gives you the extra damage and also ability to activate your bruisers on the wave, on the bosses, and gives you tons of mana. So I think it's quite a huge buff for Bruiser, and the only question is, do we put it on the S tier or A tier?
Right now I would probably put it on the S tier, because it's a pretty good all-rounder. You can play it toxic in a merge deck. You can go Night Statue Scrapper. Like it's a pretty good all-rounder. So I would put it in God tier.
Yeah,
what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think it's a good opinion, because you can play it with multiple heroes. If you don't have one, you can play with others and it will still work.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can go a little bit of toxic with the Necromancer, and also you can go full DPS, for example with Mario or Zeus, or you can go for more of a protection on Mermaid. So I think S tier on Bruiser is fair. Alright, so Minotaur. I would say that Mino is currently only playable as toxic deck, unfortunately. Don't think Mino DPS is a thing. Maybe in the past.
I tried Mino DPS with Night Statue and Mermaid, and I got to 9 billion. So I would say it's C.
It's very low because we talk about pretty much going if it goes DPS we go to very high numbers like 50 100 billion or even higher. Unfortunately mine I don't think it can reach that level. So if it goes toxic, if you play it with the toxic witch, shaman, and maybe necro or a what's the necro or snowflake, I think it can destroy your opponent pretty hard. And I'm
Yeah,
think
especially because of the stun. Every time you
yeah
summon a mind tower, it stuns three I guess, 3 units.
yeah three stones I think.
Yes.
I'm just thinking if it's B or C right now because with the Harlequin talents giving so much mana, I think it is possible to challenge.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So as pure DPS, I would rank it as C. But if you go toxic with it,
Yeah,
might go up to B.
I think the toxic version is just much stronger, not in terms of
Yeah.
damage, but in terms of win rate. So I think it's fair to say that Mino as a toxic version, the best version on B.
I would agree.
Yeah. All right. Spirit Master, our beloved panda after Forest Week. Everyone
Do we really have to talk about it?
Yeah.
I think it's clearly where to put it.
Yeah, it's basically S tier. This unit has pretty much everything. It has a wave control, even though it's a single target. From the talents you get a lot of damage. From night statues you get a lot of attack speed and additional damage. It has cleanse, it has crit damage. Basically, whatever you want, it has that. And I know that we were not supposed to talk about faction bonuses, but if there is any faction bonus for Forest faction, oh my god, this unit is a monster and everyone plays it. You can play it with Mario, you can play it with pretty much Zeus, you can play it with Necro, you can play it with basically any hero and it will still be strong.
The last Spirit Master changes made it so valuable and viable in every deck. Like
Yeah.
you even could play it without sword or knight statue and go full toxic. You can easily reach 3-4 billion without any support units. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so there is nothing much to talk. Spirit Master is a very strong unit currently. Hopefully they might shift some things around. Don't want to bring specific unit down. I would just like to, fewer units to be more equal than just one being strongly OP. Yeah. All right, Blade Dancer. To my surprise, Blade Dancer has been really good, even without the Forest faction bonus. Since I think it was from the Scrapper changes. It's the Blade Dancer can reach.
Yeah.
I was so surprised. I matched one of the Blade Dancers, and he reached 100 billion, and I thought, oh my god, it's gonna be an easy win. And it was one of the toughest battles I had in recent time. So, Blade Dancer, very strong. I would put it in A even, because it's...
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah?
I agree with that. The Scrapper talents really was a blessing for Blade Dancer.
Yeah, especially when you play Floral Frenzy, right? Because you need that 7 or 8 Blade Dancers. So you need those Merge Ranks and also Night Statue. So yeah, Blade Dancer finally meta after a long time. I think A is a fair category for Blade Dancer. Alright, next is Riding Hood. And this is most likely the most controversial DPS unit.
For sure, yeah.
There are people will say that Riding Hood is the most OP unit in current game. There are people who will tell you that you need high skill to play it and to win with it. And there are gonna be people who say that Riding Hood is pretty much useless after Scrapper talents. So I'm interested because I know that you played it quite a while. And what do you have to say?
Yeah, Riding Hood was really good in last patch, but since the Scrapper talents came out, it's pretty much useless because you don't really get any benefit of Scrapper talents with Riding Hood, because you need the mana to get Riding Hood stacks, then you need mana to get Scrapper to scrap to get your tiers up.
Yeah.
It's hard. You right now you really need a level 15 Zeus or higher
Yeah.
to make it yeah, to just play it, because if you have a 3k quid account with basic heroes, no legendary heroes, and
Yeah.
max Riding Hood, you're scrapped.
Yeah, definitely after the Scrapper Talents, I don't think it's the same as it was before, where you could
Mm-mm.
play it with Snowflake, you could play it with even Mermaid or other heroes. I saw people play it with Gadget even. But now I think it's only viable with Zeus. But the most important thing, because we put the most OP variant of the deck, and I think if it goes with Zeus, and if you have that level 15, level 20
Yeah.
Zeus with the Zeus item, I think this deck is very powerful, especially if you know how to play it.
Yep.
And not many people know how to play it properly.
Yeah, but the Knight statue and the Dryad nerf really hit Riding Hood hard.
Yeah, but I think if you know how to play it, and if you know how to use the Riding Hood's bonuses, basically, because it has two uh, bonuses that runs out of time, which one is from the base stats and one is from the talent when you activate the wolf, right? And if you activate both of these bonuses and you have, for example, 2 or 3 or even 4 wolves activated, you can deal with few billion bosses pretty much easy mode, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
to be fair, it's not an S tier anymore. I don't think it's S tier. I think
No,
it's
I would put it equal to Blade Dancer.
yeah, I would say like it
If you
needs.
know how to play it, you can
Yeah.
win. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Big minus is that you need Zeus. I don't think it's playable with any other hero.
Yeah.
Alright, Corsair. Once the best unit in the game, reaching 4000 Q damage with Banshee. Right now, I would say one of the worst legendary DPS units that
probably.
are in the game. Most likely next to. Okay, I'm not gonna spoiler. All right, so yeah, we
I
both
know what
agree.
you was about to say.
Yeah, we both agree. Corsair is not a good DPS
Yeah,
unit.
yeah.
Maybe,
Don't play.
maybe, just maybe. It's a only theory. Maybe they changed it just for the talents in the near future. We don't know that. It's not leak or anything. It's basically my faults and not only mine that they
That's
might.
what I was thinking too.
Yeah, they might change it only because they want to bring talents. And the previous version of Corsair, everyone needs to agree that it was a bit too overpowered. So yeah, current
100%.
current version of Corsair, we both agree. I think it's D tier. Don't play it.
Yep.
I just don't see it, man. Like reaching few billions with the best variant of this deck, sure, but I mean, you can reach it even with the minor DPS with any other DPS
Yeah.
units.
Yeah.
All right, and yeah, no spoilers, but the second, I think, worst DPS unit, a legendary unit in this game, I think we both agree it's Boreas. Currently, Boreas might be played in some toxic decks as a support unit. It might be played as a deep main unit in toxic deck as well, due to its talents, slowing the attack speed and stuff, and speeding the monsters. But honestly, these talents are not as good. The numbers are not there. I just don't see it in current meta in 24.1.
Yep. Nothing to add to this.
Yeah. So another unit in D tier. Alright, another legendary DPS unit is a Swords DPS, which is left talent. I think it's not that bad as people might think.
Yeah.
I would say
It's good. I see quite a few SWAT DPS players on 7k right now.
yeah.
7k trophies.
Yeah, I also watched few Aleppo streams, and if it's played correctly with Zeus, with Mermaid, with Gadget, I saw people play it with Mermaid and Snowflake as well. And also, Swords has been buffed recently from 2 targets to 3 targets again. So I think it's a quite huge buff for sports DPS. Maybe not that
Yeah,
huge,
for
but
sure.
it's a big buff. So you can
Now it's a huge buff in my opinion because you before you had to get 2 enchanted swords.
yeah.
And you merged swords and got stacks on this 2. Now you can get 3 enchanted swords and get stacks on all 3.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
That's a really huge boost.
The only like weakness of this deck is if you don't play Mermaid and you only count on your counter spells and your level 13 left talent, it's pretty much hard to cleanse because it
Yeah,
doesn't.
I kinda agree.
Yeah, it doesn't
But
have
but
that cleanse.
but if you use the cleanse talents, all the sword stacks are aimed on your enchanted swords, so the chance to cleanse your enchanted swords is even higher because you don't hit random units with your sword stacks.
Yeah, yeah, but for me also the numbers are not there yet. If they maybe buffed it a little bit damage, because attack speed is there, it needs a bit more damage to be like on top, right? So
Yeah, that's for sure.
I would put it on B tier. Maybe some people could say it's A tier. I wouldn't mind, but I just
I wouldn't put it equal with Riding Hood and Blade
yeah,
Dancer.
that's what I
Mine
wanted to
core-
say. Yeah.
Yeah, it fits really well in B.
Yeah. All right. Next unit, Genie. I think Genie overall in 24.0, in 24.1, it's a very good DPS unit. It has not many counters because Clock doesn't touch it. Toxic might destroy it, but
The cleanse is really strong. Like you just
yeah.
click the fisting thing and you cleanse almost all your genies.
Yeah,
It's the
and
best
also
unit against toxic decks.
toxic decks can reach like few billions maybe if it's Seedog or anything. And with Genie you can just activate the vortex, plus you can use that ability for the bosses to clear it faster. So I just don't see toxic beating Genie pretty much.
No, not a chance.
And also
Genie might be the best all-rounder in
Yeah.
the game right now because it's got a really high base damage. You don't even need a sword or knight. You can play knight statue, but you don't need sword to get to whatever 7 billion damage. So you can even play Genie toxic.
yeah,
I see him right now in a lot of toxic decks with Frost and Witch and Nico.
yeah. I would say it's all arounder next to Spirit Master because it has that everything pretty much. It also kind of Riding Hood has that all, right? But Riding Hood slacks a bit with the damage currently comparing to Spirit Master. But I think Genie is a solid A tier unit right now.
Yeah.
Because I saw people reaching few hundred billion damage, and it's nothing to be surprised. This is just a very underrated unit currently. Not many people play it, but it's very strong unit. And if you have it level 15, for example, with Zeus, it can really reach a few hundred billion if you play it correctly.
Yeah, there are even 8K players using Genie right now.
Yeah.
On the ladder. So yeah.
All right. Banshee. Banshee. We talked about it before the recordings, and in my opinion, the strongest version of Banshee deck is currently Solitude with a Earth Elemental, Trapper, and Swords. I don't think the variant with Witch instead of Trapper is stronger. Because if you
it's really hard to set up as well.
Yeah, and get those stacks.
Board locked really fast.
Yeah.
Because the Trapper version you can easily play it with Scrapper, and the Witch version you might wanna use Dryad for that.
Yeah.
To get the merges up, and yeah, I think the Scrapper version with Trapper is way better.
Yeah, I agree. Nevertheless, I think Banshee is one of the best DPS units right now because it is not that affected by Necro. On itself, it is not, but Trappers and Earth Elementals are. But you can still dish out some damage if the Necro is sent on your board. Cloak doesn't touch it, because why would it? And also toxic decks I don't think works that great against Banshee. So I think
It's really,
it's
really hard
yeah,
with toxic
yeah.
Banshee because every Banshee player is using Mermaid, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's yet another all-arounder. It's a really good DPS unit. It can dish out even to 150 billion, as we saw ease from our clan.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, so and it also deals with toxic decks, so I think it's another all-arounder. I would give it not S tier, definitely, because it is not on that level of Spirit Master and Bruiser. I would
Yeah,
say
if we
it's
could, I would put it between S and A, but right now I would put it A.
yeah, yeah,
But
I agree.
definitely I would put it between S and A.
All right. Robot DPS. Robot DPS or robot toxic. I think if you want to play robot, you either play it with the Mari and Witch combo, the toxic witch, or you play it with clock. Honestly, DPS robot doesn't exist. I don't think it will
Yeah.
exist. Maybe.
But oh, wait. There was 6 doing 100 billion with robots and flicker.
Yeah, but
Flicker
before the
nice
nerfs.
statue.
But before the nerfs it was, right? Of the flicker. I think
Yeah, it
they
was not this version. It was quite a while ago.
yeah, but I still think the strongest decks if you want to grind with robot, it's either Roboclock or Robo Shaman, Robo Witch versions.
Yeah.
But
You
again,
can play it as pure DPS. Yeah, you have to
yeah.
give it a touch of toxic to be successful with it.
Yeah, but I still, even the toxic versions, it's not what it used to be. I don't think it reaches higher than maybe 2 or 3 billion. Maybe if you are perfectly lucky getting those 3 or 4 tier 7 robots.
Mhm.
But even though,
Yeah, you played Robot for a while, right?
yeah,
Two
b-
seasons ago, yeah.
yeah,
I
but
never played Robot, so
but I don't think you can reach 5 billion after the buffs to monsters and bosses. I think it's. I don't know. I would say C tier. It's even
yeah,
worse than
yeah.
Milo right now. So yeah, maybe it's something will change. Robot also got hit by scrapper talents basically because you don't need to
Yeah,
merge in any decks, right? Okay. Next DPS unit is Inquisitor. Inquisitor overall, it's a picture of Dark Inquisitor, but overall it's a Inquisitor. It can be light, it can be dark. We just get the strongest version. And what's your opinion? The strongest variant of Inquisitor?
Inquisitor can be really bad, but it also can be really good. It depends on a lot of luck. Like if you drop your shield and get King Pudding on it, and your counter spells say just no, I don't wanna cleanse it,
Yeah.
then you're fucked. So
Yeah, but what's your opinion on the strongest variant basically? So is it Inku Clock? Is it Inku DPS with Trapper, Witch, and Night Statue, or maybe it's a Light Inquisitor with Night Statue or Sword?
that's really hard to say because Inquisitor Clock Night Statue, it goes wild right now, even with J. But also the DPS Inquis with Witch and Trapper and stuff also goes really wild right now.
Yeah.
So I can't really tell.
Uh,
But I have to admit, I think the clock version is stronger.
yeah, I also wanted to say I think a stronger version of Inquisitor is with Clock. It hits, I would say it doesn't hit you at the start, and it slowly goes. You don't feel it as an opponent, but then if he maxes it, and if he has like for example Faraday merge clocks on his
Yeah,
boards, then it hits
that's
you like rock basically. All of a sudden you don't deal damage, you have no attack speed whatsoever, and you lose the game, right? If the game is played correctly, of course. So yeah, I think Inquisitor Clock is overall a very good unit. It is a very good counter to Bruiser, to Spirit Master even, and maybe even few Blade Dancer and Riding Hood decks if it's lucky enough. But yeah, overall, you still have to count that there are Genie players, there are Toxic decks, and also Banshee players. So it's not the perfect unit, still not the perfect variant of the deck, but it is the strongest. So I would say,
Yeah, but if you survive the early game against Toxic,
it's good.
Like, and you keep your board full. Like, there's no chance you can lose against a toxic deck if you have like a tier 5 Inquisitor already.
Yeah.
And you just scrap all spare Inquis away, so in order to keep your shield up. It's really hard. If you survive the early game, you basically can't lose against Toxic. So I think it could be an A right now.
I would personally, if I could, put it like in between A or B, because I don't think it is that strong on the Riding Hood, Genie, Banshee, Blade Dancer level, but it's also not that weak.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So I would, okay, we could put it on the A, but on the right side. So basically, it's something in between A or B.
I would say it's more B than A actually.
Yeah.
Because you don't see a lot of Inquis right now in PvP.
Yeah, because
Even
it's basically not the
really
meta.
rare.
Yeah, it's not the meta. All right, so let's put it on B. I'm fine with that, as I said. All right, Seedock. I think the only viable version of Seedock is with Necro. You could play it with Snowflake, perhaps, but of course, with Necro is the strongest.
The Snowflake version is not really strong because you only played it with Snowflake because of the Snowflake stun.
Yeah.
It was 12 seconds or what? Like, that was crazy.
Yeah, and now it's nerfed already second time, the duration, and also the chance of the freeze also has been nerfed. So it's not that strong with Snowflake, so only viable really is a version is with Necro. And I think with Necro, it's still quite good. People, I think, forgot about it. Or maybe there are just better versions of Necro decks. But I think with Seedock with Necro is still good if you play Shaman. It's still very good, especially after the Necro buffs.
I play it with Frost and Witch right now and currently hit 8k trophies. So can't really say anything bad about it. I always said Seedock is the better robot.
Yeah, definitely is a better version of robot. And Minor, of course, as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would put it on A tier, even though people might not agree with me. I think Seedock is it is still a very good unit as a toxic deck. Just people started playing Necro with the other units and stopped playing with Seedock.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for the damage talents buff. Like, they have to come. They have to buff it.
At some point,
Yeah.
All right, Monk. Monk is oh my god, it's a surprise for me because all of a sudden nothing has been changed in Monk. Nothing has been changed in units that you used to play with Monk. But then again, Swords has been buffed and also Scrapper talents came in. And all of a sudden, Monk is one of the best units, in my opinion, in the game.
Yeah. But you don't really play it with Scrapper right now. I see so many 3k quit guys on over 7k, even 7.5k.
Yeah.
With 3k quit and J level 16 or 17. That's just crazy.
Yeah, it can be played with Zeus, it can be played with Mermaid, it can be played with Gadget, I saw. It can be even played with J, of course. I think it's the strongest variant of this. And of course, Blessing talent, right? You don't play the other talent. I don't even know the name. Blessing is just way better. Equilibrium, yeah, something like that. It's a very hard word. Yeah, I think why Monk, this is my opinion, why Monk has been so successful, it is due to the Swords buff. Right now, when I play against Monk, all my board is full red sworded, and it is very hard to maintain the damage due to that. Especially if you play the toxic level 11 talent, right? The left one.
On sword, yeah.
Yeah, the exhaustion. So I think that's the reason, because they didn't change anything in Monk. They changed the activation time.
Yeah, the activation cooldown, that's crazy. If you basically can't beat Monk with toxic decks.
Yeah,
Because if he gets to the point that he has a full board, he just keeps clicking this the power up, the activation, and all monks get cleansed, like
yeah,
all 15 seconds.
yeah.
So it's really good. And you got the novice talent. I think it's called
Novice,
novice.
novice. Yeah,
Yeah, novice. When you merge, when you activate it, you merge. Another monk gets spawned, gets summoned on
yeah,
the field. So you easily get a full board and can survive against toxic.
yeah. I think honestly of putting Monk in S tier, because without faction bonuses or anything, just straight unit, I think Monk can challenge even Spirit Master. With the keep in mind that the HQ is really Monk is really benefiting from the HQ talents.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Especially from the level 15 talent. Like I played it on dev build. This unit is crazy with HQ. Like you can copy whatever unit you want, and you get more orbs, you get more merges, you basically
true.
stack your amulet faster, you do everything faster and better. Like this is crazy. I think
But
S tier.
if you play with J, you really rely on double tiles. If you don't have a double tile, you're basically screwed.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
have Borbo with 4k crit, he does insane.
Yeah.
With Monk, he goes up to 60 billion damage also. But then if he don't has a double tile, he dies at 7, 8B,
Yeah.
a billion. Yeah.
I think
It's an S tier unit, but it really relies on luck as well, I would say. So
Yeah.
I would put it on A.
Yeah.
Can we agree with that?
yeah, I would say it would be something in between S or A. I would say also Monk is most likely the best DPS legendary unit in all of the A tier units.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Alright, Cultist. I have mixed emotions in terms of
Yeah,
Cultist.
same.
I would say Cultist is not in a good state right now. It doesn't really benefit from the Scrapper talents. Of course, you can play it, but it's still much better to play it with Dryad. You need very specific equipment to play Cultist, just like with Banshee.
Yeah.
And also, the damage, I don't think it's there. Like after the Snowflake nerfs, I just don't feel like Cultist is one of the best units. It's very middle for me.
Yeah, and then you don't have an amulet tile in the middle.
Yeah.
You're screwed anyway, so
It's very
not really good
random.
right now.
I would
Yeah.
say it's really like B tier. I would not put it
Yeah.
on A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it has clans, it has damage, it has the percentage damage, and it is good, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it deserves A. Like the units in A tier are just much better. Yeah. So let's jump to the newest DPS unit. Talents have been changed, and we can both agree that currently in 24.1, after the release of the Tesla, I think it's straight to S. Like this unit is crazy good. It has tons of damage. It has maybe you don't rely on the clans. You don't really play the clans talent, but you still play Mermaid, and it is very good. If you play it with Night Statue level 13, the right talent, it's really benefiting from Night Statue.
Think it's an S? I don't know. I don't saw any good games. Well, I saw the Aleppo game, 200
Mhm.
billion, but that's it.
I saw a few on the channel. They shared a few 150. One of the guys hit 250 billion already. So I think it's a matter of time that people will understand how to play it, right? Because it's been few days or only. So I think it's a matter of time, and everyone will realize that it's really S tier.
Yeah, the new talents really got potential.
Yeah.
Like, it really can go wide.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it on S and see what's coming soon.
All right. My beloved Demon Hunter. I've like it's a pain in my heart because I love Demon Hunter. I know that few people are successful with Demon Hunter, but I just don't feel like it's that good anymore. I've s-
It,
like
it
it,
definitely got better this patch. Like last
yeah,
patch, you couldn't touch Demon Hunter. If you
yeah,
played Demon Hunter, you straight dropped your trophies. Like it was giving away your trophies. But this patch, I see I see quite a few success with it.
yeah. I also saw a few games, 100 billion, 120,
Yeah.
70, 80 billion games, but I feel like Demon Hunter has way too many counters. And there are a lot of there is a lot of more fire lions in the game. Then there is pocket cars. There is cloak stacks. There is
Yeah, and all
toxic
the
decks
Nico players right now.
and Necro
Like,
as well.
if you play Demon Hunter, you can straight surrender against Necro.
Yeah, and
There's not a chance.
you need
to win this
you need 7 demon hunters to get to that 40 DHs point. So I don't know, like it can be good. For example, if it plays like DPS versus DPS, it can go high. But then
Yeah.
if you play against Necro, if you play against Toxic, if you play against Clock, then I'm sorry, you're screwed because you will not keep your
Yeah.
merge ranks. I tried so many times and it's like 50-50 for me. Like if I flip a coin, sure I can win or maybe I can lose. Like I don't know, like it's a B, like standard B basically, because you rely on luck way too much in my opinion. And it's a Meteor time, our last DPS legendary unit. What's your thoughts? I saw WotC hitting 120 billion recently with after the
Yeah.
HQ buffs.
I saw a 3k crit guy with Snowflake level 10,
Yeah.
crappy gear, hitting 40 billion with Max Meteor, Portal Mage, and Mino level 13.
Yeah.
Not even Max Mino. 40 billion. I was like,
I-
dude,
I think
I struggled to hit 40 billion with my usual decks.
I think Meteor after the HQ talents might come back and people will not like it because it will again be games where you have 10 minutes Meteor player dealing with paddings or other bosses.
Yeah.
But I think it might be A tier in this patch, honestly. If people realize that and will start playing it with the new HQ talents, I think it can be A. You have so much mana and skilled Meteor player can use it very well. So I would say
I'm gonna give it a try next season as well. I think it got potential with the new Harlequin talents.
yeah,
Might
definitely.
give it a shot.
Yeah. Alright, so that's our tier list. We have 3 god tier units. We have 7 A tier, 5 B tier, 1 C, it's a single robot, and of course Corsair Boreas on D tier. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. It's our first time making a video in duo. Thank you so much, Nerf, for coming and helping me out.
Thank you for having me. Really
yeah.
appreciate it.
And yeah, hopefully we can continue making these tier lists in the future patches. And see you next time. Hey there, thanks for watching, and if you like the video, please subscribe and like, as it helps me a ton. You can also leave a comment if you like, as I read and respond to every comment. Thanks for watching.